Dato, well, some of your former colleagues from UMNO has actually came out and lambast you with a lot of name callings and stuff. Did you expect that?
Well, I know they say almost the same thing to Zaid Ibrahim in the past, so I kind of saw it coming. But, well, that's what UMNO leadership is all about, unfortunately. And I should be thankful, actually, to them for saying those things, because it actually helped me to explain my case to the people why I changed party.
Yeah, I understand that. You mentioned that on your Facebook today. But, you know, when you said something about your dissatisfaction arising out of how 1MDB is being handled, were you surprised at what happened? Like the AG has been replaced or removed, and what happened to the ACC officers and all these things. Were you surprised?
There are two things here. Yes, I am surprised because I don't think UMNO in the past would go that far, or president of UMNO would go that far.
In the past, when this UMNO that you're mentioning is in which phase?
Well, at the height of the conflict between Mahathir and Anwar Ibrahim, I know there are lots of critics on the judiciary system, which came before that, before the sacking of Anwar. I understand the feeling, I understand the sentiment, but this is too glaring. You can't defend it. You know, I was doing my own sort of soul searching, trying to find, is there an argumentation that can defend this? No, I don't find any argumentation.
Well, deriving from the logic of your former colleagues and whatever name callings that their behavior, do you think that actually some of them say that you are behaving the way, or you're joining Pakatan Keadilan, it's because that you have been sidelined. You don't get your way in UMNO. That's why you're doing it. You're jumping ship. What do you think about this comment?
Well, I jump ship because I go to a place where I think I can actually work on the reform that I believe in. Because I can't actually, get any advancement on the things that I want to do in UMNO and Barisan Nasional. For example, even when I was a deputy minister and a member of the Supreme Council, I felt very lonely when I was championing the amendment of Section 15 of the University College Act. It was like, oops, am I the only one trying to this? I mean, I was censored by the cabinet for speaking on Section 15, amendment of the Section 15. I was called by the Prime Minister and I have to explain my case. Well, eventually we got it done, though I thought I wanted to do more. But yes. But when it comes to the two big scandals and the way we handled it, I don't think I can stand it anymore.
So you don't think that you could stand it anymore? Yeah,
because you see, some of my friends were actually asking me before I made the decision. They say, how is it that if you are a reformist, you stay in UMNO?
That's true.
And I said, look, I believe that reform can come from within, can come from without, can come from...
But no, Jazlan said you're just too tired fighting within.
Well,
jaded, perhaps.
Well, he may be right. I wouldn't argue on that. But I was saying that if not because of the two scandals, I'd probably stay and try and probably work harder. Like, for instance, I was already before, while I was in member of the UMNO Supreme Council, I was promoting the idea of direct membership to Barisan Nasional. I wrote a paper. I saw the Prime Minister. He asked me to write a paper. I wrote a paper. I passed the paper to him. Nothing happens. But without the two scandals, I probably stay and say, okay, let's do this. And
another paper.
Well, I may have some level of passion, but you have your limit. You have your limits.
Like you have mentioned that a lot of UMNO members or perhaps leaders actually share your political aspiration, but they have not been voicing up. what do you think have prevented them? What is in the culture of UMNO that stopped them from speaking up what is right, for what is right?
Well, UMNO is a party that normally do not actually debate policies in public. Well, the Prime Minister, the President used to say, I'm sure you know, he said that debate is not our culture, so how else can you do it? But again, if you ask civil society, any other organization, you will find that they will tell you it's very difficult to get an UMNO speaker every time you organize a forum, every time you organize a discussion, public discussion. So, in a way, I have this feeling that yes, there are people supportive of my idea, but no, I don't see them actually coming forward to say they agree. But neither do I know if they don't agree.
That's true. That's true. Okay, but there is also a perception on UMNO about cronyism, about nepotism. What is your comment on this?
I think the key word for UMNO is feudalism.
Okay.
Yeah. And from feudalism, you have elements like loyalty is number one. You hear the president talking about loyalty is number one. Yeah. So never mind if you are not so clever, but if you are loyal, you are considered the president's man. Number two is about patronage. Yeah, I give an example. My last position in UMNO division was as the deputy head of Temerloh.
Yes.
I wouldn't have made it if not because of the assistance or the mentoring given by the former Ketua Bahagian, the former head of division.
Okay. Datuk
Muhammad Sarid Jusso, who was very kind. Yeah, I started running as a committee member, and then he appointed me as head of information, and then there was redelimitation, and then there's a new Temerloh division.
Yes.
So he was appointed as the pro tem head of division, and I was appointed as the vice head, naib ketua, and so on. Otherwise, it would have been very tough.
It would have been very tough. So, what about? So it's feudalism.
It's feudalism.
It is, okay. We have to deviate a little bit back to the 1MDB crisis, because we have a question from one of our viewers, Michelle Chang. Dato, since you choose to leave UMNO due to the bad management on the crisis or how it's being handled, is it possible for more UMNO members to follow suit, to also leave the party to show their intolerance, and especially perhaps sending a warning to Najib?
I would say majority of UMNO members are not very happy with the way the UMNO leadership is handling 1MDB. But to think that many UMNO members will leave the party would be slightly, I wouldn't say impossible, but it's going to be a far-fetched hope. But to see UMNO members working in a certain way, in a very quiet way, asking the president to step down is possible. Because I think most UMNO members, their thinking today is that they feel that the president is a liability, and this will affect the UMNO, the party's chances in the coming general election. So I think quietly they may be saying that the president should leave, but they won't say this, openly. But for them to think that UMNO is not in government is probably almost unthinkable.
Just now you mentioned about thinking the president of the party as a liability. How great is this sentiment?
Well, if you were to measure with the number of people speaking up, you have this lady from Langkawi. You have, of course, Tun Mahathir and Kuli and a few others, Muhyiddin and Shafi Afdal, of course. Then you will say, well, this is a very small number. Yeah. But if you listen closely to the conversation at the teh tarik session, kedai kopi, you hear rumblings on the ground. But maybe it is not very structured, because the power structure in UMNO is actually held by the Supreme Council and the division heads.
Yes.
Okay. Out of the 191 division heads, I would say about 120 to 130, maybe even more, are very staunch supporter of the president. Yeah. Why? A couple of reasons, but the major reason is that most of them are his contemporaries. They grew up together in the party. They were once UMNO youth leaders at their own division, so they have known each other. They bind very well together, so that element of loyalty is premium, and so it's very difficult for you to go against the president, unless, of course, if there is an UMNO party election. But UMNO party election is already postponed after the next general election.
So, you've mentioned feudalism, you have mentioned loyalty. Is this characteristic being breathed into the DNA of UMNO, that it's unchangeable?
I won't say it's unchangeable, because it's human-made.
Yes.
Nothing is unchangeable, but it's very difficult to change it. It is ingrained, for so long, and it's not going to be easy to change that. Yeah.
I see.